It's beneficial to have a basic understanding of how Copilot functions at a very high level. In this video, I have discussed various concepts that are essential to grasp. Hello, my name is Paresh, and you're watching 365 Pros. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I recommend that you do and also click the bell icon so that you get notifications of my upcoming videos. Now, in this video, I've categorized all the key concepts into three distinct groups. Let's have a look. So basically, the groups are bloodstream, organs, and body. We'll go through them one by one. Firstly, the bloodstream, which encompasses the large language model. A large language model, if you have gone through my previous video, you would know that it's a type of artificial intelligence that excels in processing and generating text that resembles human communication. Now, this capability is incredibly potent and it enables large language models to facilitate interactions between computers and users in any language, be it English, French, Mandarin, or any other, in a manner that is comprehensible to humans. Now, the term large in large language model LLMs refers to the extensive neural networks that contain billions of parameters necessary for their function. The complexity of LLMs often means that their inner workings and limitations are not fully understood, at least as of now. Additionally, being probabilistic model, the large language models may not provide the exact same response to the identical inputs every time. That's why we would suggest that whenever you get a response from Copilot, you always review that before processing it further. However, within the context of Copilot, a large language model is an artificial intelligence capable of comprehending and generating text. Now, within Copilot's bloodstream, there is also something called as advanced natural language processing. In short, we call it NLPs. So, the natural language processing is a common AI framework that enables computers to understand and interpret that respond to human language. So, natural language processing is distinguished from the large language models because, in this specific context, the natural language processing involves extensive background processing of documents to ensure Copilot can accurately comprehend them. So, things like tokenization, semantic search, and semantic analysis are some of the underlying processes that enable Copilot to function effectively. While we do not have to go into the details of these processes at this moment, it's important to understand that the large language model and the natural language processing serve as a core engine driving the Copilot. So these two things under the bloodstream that we discuss are the core engine which drive the Copilot. Now let's come on to the second section, which we term as organs. So here we have organs which Copilot relies on for information. One such organ is Microsoft Graph. Now, if you watch my previous videos, you will know that Microsoft Graph is essentially an aggregation of all the data from your Office 365 services. It includes all your emails, files in OneDrive or in SharePoint. It includes Teams chat, team meetings, and more. The term graph is used because it represents the interconnected nature of all the data, which, although might be stored in separate locations, is all linked together. So, for example, your emails concerning Project XYZ might lead to Teams chat and meetings about same topic, forming a network of related data. This interconnected data is what constitutes as graph. Hence, the term Microsoft Graph is used because it represents the web of connections between various data points, much like a graph. Now, in addition to Microsoft Graph, there is something called a semantic index. Now, this semantic index organizes all your data within your graph and it creates a detailed map establishing significant links between different pieces of data, much similar to how human brain organizes the information. For instance, all your communications regarding Project XYZ might be grouped in one area, while details about, let's say, a birthday party you are planning next month might be in another. So essentially, what semantic index does is it takes all your data from Microsoft Graph and arranges it in an organized manner. Now, it's not necessary to go into the specifics of indexing or vectorization. The key point over here is that it organizes your items from the graph in a structured way. Now comes the next part, which we are calling over here as body. Now, the body represents your direct interactions with Copilot through Microsoft 365 apps like Outlook, Excel, and Word. Now, the analogy of bloodstream, organs, and body is useful over here because it leads to the next part of the explanation. Now, when you request Copilot to draft an email, for example, let's say to describe your coffee product, you initiate that. Now, this process starts with pre-processing and grounding, where Copilot searches your Microsoft Graph and semantic index for relevant materials to fulfill your request, such as summarizing a document related to expanding your coffee business in Europe. Now, this semantic index helps Copilot to locate the project information efficiently. Why? Because, as you understood, semantic index organizes the data which it takes from the graph in a systematical manner. So, hence, it's easy for Copilot to locate the information. Next, the large language model reads your question and relevant information from Microsoft Graph to formulate a response. After generating a response, post-processing occurs to ensure that the response aligns with Microsoft Graph. It's also not offensive and complies with enterprise requirements. So this step or this post-processing cleans up the language model output, which is finally shown to you. All right. Now, finally, the processed response is sent back to your application, and that is what you see, for example, in a drafted email in Outlook, which summarizes the coffee expansion proposal that you asked for, right? So essentially, your request flows through Microsoft Graph, and the semantic index is processed by the large language model. It goes through post processing and is delivered back to you. So the large language model acts as the bloodstream distributing the task and information. The organs are the repositories of vital information, like the Microsoft Graph and semantic index. And the body is the interface of the 365 app where you engage with Copilot on day-to-day basis. Please note that this explanation is a very simplified version of Copilot's working. Just to make you understand about the key concepts. The actual technology is complex, but it's secure, ensuring the compliance with data regulations, which is one of the advantages of using Microsoft services. I hope you liked this video and also got to know the key concepts behind the workings of Microsoft Copilot. Now, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Stay tuned and keep watching 365 Pros for my upcoming videos. Bye for now.